Welcome back, guys. Goldy and Robbo. We're going to do a Jayco walkthrough. As promised, we've had a few interests in what's inside the van.
Absolutely.
And it's been a while since we've had a chance to do it. But we're up at, where are we? In Matani.
Matani, we are at a little place called Crystal Ridge.
Crystal Ridge.
You'll find it on Hip Camp. It's just north of Townsville. Cracking spot. We'll show you a little bit later.
Anyway, stay tuned. We're going to do the walkthrough. Finally.
Let's do it.
So let's start at the front. A standard tow ball hitch. You see all the other vans that have got all this flash ones that rotate. So if this rolls, your van doesn't, well, it won't happen for the Jayco. Handbrake, standard jockey wheel, 12-pin plug, and that will run everything from your vehicle. Of note, pin number 2, make sure your auto lecky has that live, because you need pin number 2 to run your brake swear control. And apparently that's not a standard thing. So make sure pin 2 is working so it can operate your brake swear. So your brake swear control is, if this starts doing fishies, it'll automatically start locking in and controlling your electric brakes to bring it back in line with your truck. On top of that, when you're towing, this thing tows like a train. It's solid on the road, mate. It is absolutely solid. Tows really, really well. And a lot of these things are extras, and we'll tell you what we've put in extra, and we'll tell you what is a standard market. Stone guard we paid extra for, 300 odd bucks. And also your A-frame, we got an extended A-frame. And that helps with reversing, and I'm still terrible at it. I'm still terrible at reversing, but extended A-frame. Also, that comes standard is a jerry holder. We use this for our water. We get a 20-litre jerry into your holder. 2 8.5 kilo tanks. You'll only get one if you don't get a hot water system. If you upgrade and get a hot water system, you'll get a second gas tank. So we'll mention that later on. Also, you used to have to pay for it, but now it comes standard, is a water tap. Now this water tap plugs into your water tanks. I find this really handy to clean your teeth, wash your hands for when you're about to have a meal. We'll go around this way, Goldie. I also like how there's a window at the front. Helps the air draft go through. But make sure when you're driving, lock this down, and this is sort of like a stone guard for your window. Standard, what do you call this, Goldie? An alley storage compartment. It goes right through. Yep. So I just put in blocks of timber, my gas cooker, billies, and all that sort of stuff. This is your 240. No, that's your 240. 240 for your 15 amp cord. The next one is like a safety trip for your 240. This is a TV antenna, but it's for when you go to those fancy caravan parks and they've got Foxtel or that special bloody TV service. You can plug that into your connection with your caravan. We've never used it, we never will. Windows. These are your vents. We upgraded, and we'll show you, we upgraded our fridge freezer. So we've got 2 vents for the, oh, that's hot, for your fridge. This is for your overhead cooking inside, that we'll show you. And this is one of the extras that we put in, was a hot and cold shower. And this is for outside. We also got the hot water system. That's here. You don't need to look at that. You don't even need to touch it, but it's instant hot water. As soon as you put it on,
Oh, you bastard.
yeah, it's hot, isn't it? Oh, did you hear that kicking in?
Ah, stop.
And that's your hot water system. Now that is built into underneath the bottom bunk inside. Also, on top of that, if you're going to get your van from the factory, it's cheaper to put all your upgrades in on the factory line than it is if you buy it and commit to that sale and get it up to wherever you are, and then you want to put those extras on. So that's something to bear in mind. And while you're thinking of that, the hot water system in the shower we use, it's great, especially in winter. Underneath, we've got two 80-litre water tanks. We didn't have the grey one put in because it's extra weight, and we do a lot of off-grid camping anyway, so we don't think it's a necessary thing to have. Suspension is Jayco suspension, and a lot of people upgrade to airbag suspension. However, that's really expensive and it's really heavy. The chassis is aluminium, again, weight, and we'll mention that in the pros why that's a big thing for us. No airbags and the aluminium chassis. Oh, we also, because we have a shower out here, I got Jayco to wire in. You just dropped my beer, man. That's unbelievable. So the shower system out the back, we got them to wire in a light for out the back so you can see when you're having a shower at night. They also threw in a shower tent as well, which we haven't set up yet, but that came as part of having the shower. Because we've got the hot water system, they gave us an extra tank, gas tank for free. Nothing really here. You can put in a reverse camera. I should get that.
You should.
I'm terrible at reversing. Here's our awning, which is a rollout awning. I know if you get the bigger Jaycos, like your 19 and your 21 footers, it's electric, but this is really simple to put up. Really simple. It takes nothing. And we just upgraded. We just got some navigators, strap-ins, just to make sure that if it is windy, the last thing you want it is to go wrapping around the other side of the roof. On this side, I got two 12-volt plug-ins, which is your cigarette lighter plug-ins. And that's great for if you want to chuck the TV out here or have extra 12-volt capability. There's your TV antenna. And that is a 240. So if you're at your caravan park with your 15 amp on the other side, you can chuck in a 10 amp and run another fridge or anything out here. You've got an outside light here, and you've also got an LED strip in here as well. This is your rails that you can run in for your navigator, and also this is the rail that you'd use if you want to put out a privacy sheet as well, which we've got. Also, these two lights attract insects really bad. It's that bloody white light. So I just bought,
Here we go.
yeah, here we go. I Googled what type of lights don't attract insects. Red, yellow and orange. So I got a little bit of orange LED strip. I soldered it up just with a 12-volt pin. Huh? Check that out.
Yeah.
Well, you don't like it, do you?
That's good.
That's why you were sitting here last night, because the insects are over there. Anyway, just showing off. And this is the other end of that alley compartment. This also has a light, so if you're packing up at night or you get in late, and it's got a blue light as well. And I just put all the chairs in there. We had a Jayco Dove camper trailer, and the compartment for that was another half the size. This is quite small, but I get to fit in 3 camper chairs, so it's okay. Let's go inside. Hey, I like this. We call it the drunk light. That really helps. That's going to be your friend when you want to get out in the middle of the night to go to the toilet. Another thing I do like, and this just locks into the wall. Another thing I do like that we've never had before is a screen, fly screen. And it's equivalent to the crim mesh, whatever it is. So that's pretty cool. One step up. Shoes off, please, Goldy. All right, you stay there. Okay, so this is the 15-footer. And this setup is one main bed, 2 bunks. We didn't want an ensuite inside because you're starting to get longer, bigger, heavier, and more expensive. And I've heard bad stories about mold and all that sort of stuff, especially when you try and lock it up for 3 or 4 months. We're not interested in that yet. So this is perfect for a family of 4. We're 3, Goldie's 4, so it's a perfect setup. Come on in, Goldie.
I'm not your 4th.
Skylight, you can set it to different settings. You can do a screen, or if you want to have an afternoon sleep, you can close it off. That has to stay like that because of gas regulations, but it puts in some nice natural light. This actually pops up, so it actually drops down and sits on top of here. So if you're traveling, you can still get into the van, you can still access your fridge, your cupboards, and this is no effort. It just goes boom, it's all under gas struts. Locks in, and well, what am I, 180 centimeters? And it's over me. Goldie, what are you, 140, 150?
Oh, you're funny.
So we got the curtain put in as an extra. And Sirocco fans, we got one up the end there. Sirocco fans are really good for caravans. It handles the vibrations. It's got a timer on it. It's got different speeds, and it's hardwired into the battery. Under here has heaps of storage underneath the bed, and that's where your battery management system sits. Oh yeah. Also, in behind both beds is a big storage compartment for all the kids. So you can put all your toys in, you can put your books and your iPads and whatever into both of these storages for the kids. And then you've got heaps of storage in the van. We actually got these shelves put in because it was a hanging rack before. And I don't know about you, but I don't take business suits camping. So we put shelves in. So we have a shelf each and food. But you can see there's just heaps of storage everywhere. All the way through. The fridge, 150 litre. It's a 3-way smart fridge. So it's 240, 12 volt and gas. The smart fridge will decipher what is the most efficient way to run. So if you plug into 240 and you're already on gas, it'll update itself and go to 240 because it's more efficient. If you're on battery and you go to 240 or you go to gas, it'll decipher what is the most efficient to run. Heaps of space. It's nearly like a house fridge with a freezer, and it's so good it actually makes ice. So that runs on gas when you're off grid. 4 gas stove elements, and that's a splashback and a splashback on this side, and then that was that vent that I was showing you outside. So here's a hot tip. Here's a real big recommendation. If you get one of these, upgrade and put a 12 volt water pump in. 100%. If you don't get this. You got to be pumping. You got to be pumping your water. That's for your dishes or for your drinks or whatever. If you get a 12 volt, you get a free this tap in straight away. How good's that? Because I've got the hot water system onto hot, straight into hot water. Now that's hot water. So that's something I really recommend. And If you've got 3 or 4 kids, or 3 or 4 in your family, get the second water tank. If you don't, you're not going to last more than 1 night, 2 nights. You need a second water tank, and especially if you're going to have the showers. But just even for drinking water and doing dishes and whatnot, it's something that you really need. When this pops up, you've got a heap of storage area along the side here. Here's my other Sirocco fan, and they're really easy to move. They're really easy to manage. They can go 360. They can do whatever you want. They're really good, and really efficient. Really efficient. Double bed. It's only a double. It's not a queen, but that's your main bed. Gets heaps of natural light in, and with these you can change it so you can go fly screen, open, or you can do or you can block it out. In here is charging for USB, and it's also got a TV antenna, and it's also got a 12 volt plug-in for a 12 volt TV. As an extra, if you wanted, you can get it mounted up here. We didn't, because it cost like $600, but we did get a 12 volt TV from Good Guys for 170 odd bucks, and we just sit it there if we want to watch the cricket or the footy, or we just want some downtime. And it's good storage space, and you can put your iPads and whatnot for your adults here. This is handy, but geez, you wouldn't want to be too big, or you're not going to get in. But it can rotate for you to get in and open up, but there's not much room. Mine actually snapped, and it cracked here because it was only tack welded. But it's a warranty job, so I took it back to Jayco, and they fixed it, no dramas, no issues. That's one thing. Jayco service, and let's be honest, you will have bits and pieces that might go wrong with any van. You just got to be realistic. Don't be critical because, oh, this is coming off. That's just what happens with a van. So we've had a little bits and pieces, and we've taken it back to Jayco, and they have been amazing at Townsville. Jayco Townsville. I can't fault them in their service. I think they're really, really good. Do you agree with that, Goldy?
Yeah, absolutely. They're under the pump too, so a lot of people are obviously. There's a lot of vans getting around at the moment, especially with COVID. It's just gone. Everyone's got a van at the moment, so they're under the pump, but also they're pretty quick in their service too.
Yeah,
quality.
Yeah. They're awesome. Actually, the lights. I like the lights. So lights for inside, both lights outside. Turn it off. You can actually pull this off, and it's a remote, so you can walk around. So if the kids are going to sleep, you can actually change the lights or have control of the lights to put them to sleep or whatnot. Hot tip, make sure when you roll that awning up that you have pressed the off light, because that LED strip creates a bit of heat and it will burn through that awning. Hey, Goldie.
Not so much burn through, but mine has a brown mark that's permanently there forever, just as a reminder to turn your lights off.
This is for your antenna for your TV. You roll it up, it opens up. Make sure you roll it down when you're traveling. We've used that at Rolling Stone and other caravan parks when we've traveled, and you get full TV reception. Dometic aircon. One thing with this, because it's a brand new caravan, the compressor must be super, super efficient. I bought a King's 2.2 kVA generator. There's an eco switch that you can turn off or on to make the Jenny run and scream its guts out to keep up with a big load. When I have the aircon on, I don't even have to use the eco switch of the compressor, because the compressor on this must be super efficient. So instead of your Jenny screaming, it's just purring like a kitten. So that's really impressive, because I know other people that have got Jaycos and caravans that may be 1 or 2 years older than this, and it's screaming its guts out. So I get 4.5 hours to a tank in my compressor, in my generator, compared to the other guys that are getting 3. So that's something worthy. Do you agree with that, Goldie?
Yep.
Is there anything else that I need to cover in here, buddy?
No, I think we pretty much covered it. Obviously, just with the bed itself, obviously you got and a lot of storage
Oh.
containers up top and underneath as well. So
Check
that's
this.
on gas strut there.
And it's all gas strut, and that's a lot of storage. So there's my TV, my rotisserie, the kids' toys, extra blankets, which you don't need in Townsville. So that's really good, and it's really easy. And it just goes back down. There's no lifting because I've got spaghetti arms. It's all on gas struts. Battery management. Projector have taken on Jayco. So there's an application that you download. Let's have a look, Goldy. Can you see that?
Yep.
So it's not complex, but you can see this is my solar. I'm getting 6 amps drawn in. I'm burning, which is a bit rough, over 1 amp. So I'm getting 4.8 amps charging into my battery, and I'm drawing 1.6 amps from a 6 amp draw of the solar panel. The solar panel is 160 watts. 160 watts, and it sits just here. We've got the 2 tanks, so it'll tell you how much you've got in your water tanks. Can you see that? Is it reflecting?
Yep. That's right.
Yeah. I can turn off my water pump. I can turn off my hot water system if I wanted to by my application, or I can just turn off the whole battery management system if I wanted to, which apparently they don't recommend. Now, if I plug into the vehicle, it'll tell me how many volts my vehicle battery has, and then how much it's going to put in volts wise into this battery that's in the caravan. That's probably about it. I don't think you need to know anything more about that. Also, hey, fan, didn't know that. Also, microwave, it's still brand new for us. We haven't used it. And you just got a little toaster if you want to toast some melted cheese or something onto some bread, and that's all gas operated. You can't use that unless you're hooked up to caravan. And I don't think a generator would run a microwave. It'd scream its guts out. We've never used it. You cook on fire. So there you have it. Walk through. If you want anything more, just send us a message and we can do more clips or just answer it through the comments. So this is the 15-footer single axle. It is TED 1570 ish,
yep.
1570, with about a 400 kilo load. So it's about a 2-ton vehicle when you're towing it. And we've done things, we upgraded to a lithium battery, which is 100 amp hour. And that's to reduce weight, and you get more than 50% compared to an AGM. But if you start packing smart with a bit of trial and error, you'll get it humming to what you want. So positives and negatives.
You'll go through some pros and cons. So there's obviously the pros outweigh the cons for this van. It's a very, very good van. Haven't had too many issues with it. Any issue we did have, obviously, like we said, Jayco Townsville have really sorted us out and really helped us out. So, but a couple of things that they obviously can't help, and it's more of a structural type of con, I suppose. The first one being this thing here. So when the doors open, for whatever reason, I'm not quite sure, but for whatever reason, they've decided to put the window there. So obviously when I open it up there, so when the doors open, no dramas at all. We've got plenty of breeze and all the rest of it going through there.
The window needs to be over here.
It does. It needs to be over about another 200 or 300 mil. So obviously when the door's closed and locked up, it can only go open a certain amount. So yeah, it needs to be over probably about another 200 mil, I reckon. But anyway, that's just one of your cons.
The bed's too small.
The bed is too small. However, another issue with it is just the clearance on the front side of the
with your storage.
bed.
Yeah.
Yeah. So obviously the way the caravan's been built, it's obviously on an angle at the front there for whatever reason. But with that angle, takes obviously space out from the bed. So small bed, not much room on the upper
We,
on the left hand side. So
the wife and I go head to toe so we can fit in. So that's a double mattress. Yeah, so it's a little small. So if you're a little bit bigger, you may need to look at the 17 footers where the bed setup is north to south instead of east to west.
yeah.
Oh, another negative, and I know it's not their fault. They've got a fixed solar panel on the roof. If you're parked under trees and you've got a shadow cast over that panel for most of the day, you just don't get enough charge back into the battery. So with a couple of Siroccos and some lights, you're burning about 25% of your battery from sunset to sunrise. If you go for 3 nights and then during the day you burn your battery. What I would like to see is maybe an external Anderson plug put on the outside, so you can put in a solar panel with cable and chase the sun and help extra charge going into the batteries. Positives.
Plenty of positives for this fan, I think.
Yep.
I suppose we could start. The first positive is obviously the pricing. So
Yeah.
for what you get with this, it's really, really good value for money. Like we said at the start of the clip, if you want your fancy stuff, your luxury sort of items, you won't get it in the Jayco Journey anyway. So if you want to pay extra, go your hardest, pay your $80,000-$90,000. This one here cost around that $40,000 to $45,000, which is obviously really good value on the market at the moment for what you're going to get.
A big one for me was weight. I've only got a D22. We've both got 4-cylinder vehicles. A big one was weight. 2 ton for my D22 is quite comfortable to tow. If you go any of the others, we won't mention brands, but mate, they're 2.5 ton just before you even pull it out of the yard. So that was a big thing. I also like the decor inside, because if you get it up from the factory, you can choose your own decor. You can choose your own colors and cabinetry in the lounges, the tables, all that sort of stuff. I like it seems to be up to date. It seems to be It seems to be up to date. Really nice decor, and it's simple. It's not set up for living inside. That's not what we do. However, if it's a rainy day, or if you just want some time out, it's quite comfy. You can boil a coffee, you can do stuff inside. So I do like the simple layout, and it's quite comfy and it's nice. If you've got any questions, chuck it in the comments, mate. Chuck it in. Jeff Steen, I know you wanted this video, mate. Domo Lux, Meatball Bearer.
Seriously, if you've got any questions, hit us up. We'll be as honest as we can with it. For a family of 4, can't fault it, love it. Boom.
We're out.